don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this,
Hello, hello, and welcome, welcome. I am your host, the Real Lovely C, and here today we are here to talk about the hottest show on Friday night is Love After Lockup. Love After Lockup. Y'all know, okay, so I haven't done it in a couple of weeks because I've been ill, and so I haven't been doing too much of anything. So I'm gonna bring this to you. I'm waiting on my co-host to join me, but I guess I'm gonna get started until she come in. But as the week goes on, it gets better and better, better and better. Okay, now you know some weeks somebody's it's kicked off and then the other person is not. Prissy's here. Let me bring her on. Hey, Prissy.
Hey girl, how you
Okay.
doing?
All right. So I was talking about how I've been sick, but Love After Lockup on Friday nights is the show to watch at 9 o'clock, honey. But they have alternate, the same people not on every week. You know, they alternate them. So this week we're gonna get into who they had on this week, and it was pretty good. I gave this episode at least a 9.5. I'm not gonna give it a whole 10, but it was juicy this week. So let's talk about Derek and Monique. Monique's sister calls and she lets her sister know that Derek came to visit to see her in Chicago, but he slept in the basement because he was acting crazy with his phone. And her sister said he's pretty much on the same BS. Monique's sister said she would come and kick him out if he ain't doing what he need to do. So she said so she was sad, you know what I'm saying? But Derek has a surprise for Monique when she wake up. He fixes her candles, the same roses that she threw in the trash. He took them out, took them roses out the trash can, plucked them, and made candles, had candles going up the stairs, and in the kitchen made a heart with them after they're on the kitchen table after they'd been in the trash. She ain't think about none of that. And put candles on there and made her breakfast. He had pancakes and strawberry and he squirted on the whipped cream. So Monique was happy with that. But my thing is, she's still on that jealousy thing. She's not trusting him. And I truly believe that Derek is trying. I truly believe he's trying. He'd have got that ring out of layaway. He ain't with the drama with his sisters. The fight is over with. He'd have came back. He'd have listened to his grandma, his me mom. But anyway, they planned to go to the club, and Monique knew that the club wasn't going to have a crowd. So she knew about this club. But the bartenders was flirty, and Monique catch a small attitude with Derek. They took pictures. Derek has a ring for Monique, but Derek is having second thoughts about giving it to her because of her jealousy. They had a good time. Monique enjoyed herself, because they was basically the only couple in the damn club, and the champagne girls was there. They're there to be flirty, disrespectful, but they were flirty also. You're moving around, Priscilla. You're moving around, Prissy.
I'm sorry.
All right, so Monique, sister and brother came by the next day. Derek got to explain himself again. Monique tell him if he's Monique tells him if he's up here, over here, Derek wants to be. Derek wants a threesome, and Monique had told him that they can have a threesome, and she said, "No, I changed my mind. I want to bring a man in the bedroom." He said, "Hell to the no." He said, "Well, why would you think I'm gonna give you a threesome?" So, what is your aftertake on Monique and Derek? I mean, truly, give me your honest opinion about this couple. How do you feel about Monique and Derek? Because the show has played out already. The show has played out already. They together, and it's previously taped, and they doing interviews with people, and they got a management team. So Monique is taking real advantage of the opportunity of this. Like she said, if you gonna cover if I'm gonna go through this, I'm gonna get paid for it. But she don't do. She do interviews with high YouTubers, like she did like producer. She did a interview. Her and Derek both did one with Carlos King, and I thought that was a very good interview. So that shows me that they're still together. I hear that hoarseness in my voice is coming back. I hope I don't lose my voice. But yeah, it shows me that they're still together and they hang it in there. He has to get permission from his PO is to get a travel pass. So I think he really loves Monique. He was willing to come up Chicago before he just knew the man was gonna say okay. His parole officer was gonna say okay, and the parole officer said no, and then called him back and said, "I'm gonna give you this pass." So he get passes that when he did the interview with Carlos King, they were in New York, so they do a lot of traveling. So it's good to see that, yes, he loves her, but I want to know, is he going to give her that ring? Because his intention was to bring that ring there and propose to her that weekend while he was there. He put it in the top cabinet so she wouldn't find it. What are your afterthoughts on Monique and Derek?
Well, he seems like you said, Derek seems like he's trying. But with her insecurity, it makes it hard as far as that part go. What they, I mean, like you said, they doing stuff after the show or whatever. But during the show, what I see right now is that Derek is trying, but Monique is still insecure and she don't trust him. So if she don't get her trusted issues together, I don't know what it's going to turn out to be. So I'm hoping because you said that they are doing a lot of traveling and interviews that they got that issue behind. Maybe they're working through it.
Yeah, I agree with you. So let's move right on with Sean, Sarah, and Anthony. Now, the day has come for Abby to meet her father, Anthony, and Sean agreed to go with Sarah. He wanted to see if Anthony was clean. Sean is still mad because he finds out that Sarah was secretly meeting Anthony a few times behind his back without, meeting with Anthony, and he don't know if anything else happened. When they met up, Anthony reached um reached his hand out to give Sean a handshake, and Sean refused it. He wanted to know what his emotions intentions was with Sarah and Abby. He wanted to know, were you gonna come and try to take my family away from me? After Anthony explained, Sean did shake his hand. Anthony has an attitude about the initial handshake because he didn't shake his hand until after the conversation was over. But he should have shook his hand starting out with. And Anthony felt like that was disrespectful because he reached out to shake his hand as a man. He said if he was still using and he wasn't clean, the old Anthony would have whooped his tail out in that field. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, he came back to shake his hand. He said that it was disrespectful and he wasn't clean, and that's what he would do. After Sean goes back over to Anthony to apologize to Anthony for not shaking his hand, Anthony tells Sean if he wants Sarah, he can have her. He don't want Sarah. He can have her. So they are waiting to meet Abby for Anthony to tell her that Anthony is her father. Sean is gonna be the one to tell her. Sean wasn't happy that Anthony could have Sarah. If he made the statement, if I want Sarah, I can have Sarah anytime I want to. So that was a touch and go. It went okay until that part happened. I don't think the initial handshake was such a big deal, but the man came back to apologize to him, and I just feel like you can see the age difference. This man don't know, just found out the night before coming to meet you that you been secretly meeting up with his wife, and you are his ex. His you and Sarah are exes, and I don't know what to take. All I know is y'all been meeting up, and now all of a sudden, you want to come in her life when at first the conversation was he wanted to adopt Abby. So it's a big age gap between Sarah and Sean. So Sean is a little insecure right now, but Sean just started showing Abby the attention that he should have been showing her. You understand? And I'm glad that he started showing her the attention, because it could have easily slipped off and they could have had an affair because he wasn't giving her the attention at home that she was supposed to have. What are your afterthoughts about this? Because at the end of the day, it's about the daughter, and I'm hoping that that's all it's about is the daughter, not too much Abby. I hope it's about all every. At the end of the day, it's all about Abby. It's not about Sean and Anthony. It's all about her at the end of the day. So those are my afterthoughts. What are your afterthoughts?
Well, first of all, I think
Talk up a little bit.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm a turn your volume up. Go ahead.
Yeah. In the first place, I think Sarah went about it all wrong. She should have confided in her husband in the first place and talked it over. She threw him a curveball, so it took him a minute to even get it situated in the head. He thinking was they having an affair, and the reason why he was thinking that was, like you said, he wasn't paying her no attention. He was always playing the game and talking to his children, so he wasn't paying her that much attention. So when she threw him this ball, he just was knocked off his feet because he see her acting funny and not saying stuff. And when he found out the reason, he was thinking, oh, she's been cheating on me this whole time. But if she had told him what she was trying to do and let him wrap his head around it, I think the outcome would have been much better.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah, true. He went to the place to meet the man. He didn't want to shake his hand because he didn't know where this guy stood, and that's understandable in a way. It was rude, but it was understandable in a way because he didn't know where this guy was coming from, where Anthony was coming from. And as soon as he talked to Anthony and could see that he had his head straight on, he started feeling better about it. But he had to leave, go and think about it, and then go. Now Anthony, he back there talking about if he come between me and my daughter, it's gonna be on. So I'm hoping all of that don't come through. I'm hoping all three of them can agree just because it's a child involved.
Exactly.
I'm hoping that all three can come to some agreement and give this girl the love that she deserves. Give the girl the father daughter attention, and Sean still can play a big role in her life. Because
Exactly.
he's been there.
Exactly.
So just step aside, let Anthony do what he gonna do with his daughter, as long as he don't be pushing up on Sarah, and Sean take care of his business with Sarah. It should go fine, but you know how
And
it,
he need to stay clean to be in her life.
that's right. And
He owed that to her.
I think Sean a little worried about that too. Is he gonna stay?
Exactly.
Is he gonna?
Exactly.
So
So the next couple is Lindsay and Blaine.
okay.
Lindsay is crying because she's doing everything herself. All the weight is on her. She calls her sponsor. She feels like Blaine is not pulling his weight. Her sponsor lets her know she can't take care of everything by herself. She tell her to take a break. She wanted her to calm down. So Leslie asks Blaine what he is doing this week. Blaine said last he recalled he provided when nobody else would. Blaine said now she got to do her part. She want a cookie. Blaine said that being she is being ungrateful. She's being an ungrateful bitch, honey. Lindsay tells Blaine, let's see how long the lights stay on without her. Blaine is on house arrest and he don't want to go back to jail because without the lights, that machine ain't gonna work.
Right.
Without the telephone and the lights, that machine, that telephone is not going to work to my knowledge. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
he is not supposed to leave the house after a certain time of night. But he had gathered an overnight bag and started to leave. Lizzie told him um if he he better not leave with one of her cars. She will report them stolen.
Mhm.
So um she's upset and Blaine said he don't want a woman in his life, another woman in his life. He lives in the house and take care of Lindsay leaves the house and she takes the cat with her and some clothes. So she carries an overnight bag also, but she takes the car. He calls her and want her to come back home because he's hurting, and she said she got to move on, you know. So she's tired, you know. I don't know. I think she like had a meltdown and feels stressed out. You know, Blake not being totally honest with her because when she was with him through the whole thing. When they talked to that lawyer and all his charges came about that she did not know, and she was still willing to help get that money together for him, you know, so he could pay for this lawyer. The lawyer called and gave her, I'm going back a little bit. The lawyer called and gave him the good news that he could be on home arrest for 3 years, and to be on home arrest, he got to be in the house at a certain time. He can still go out, but he got to be home at a certain time. You know, so that and he do side jobs. You know what I'm saying? He do side jobs. So and then just paying off this lawyer, if you think about it, it's not cheap because he he had to pay that lawyer off to get that ankle monitor on his leg. You know, the judge the lawyer had to make that deal. So that's court. That's money. You know what I'm saying? So prior to all this, he was bringing in money and he had money and he's still helping out. It's just he can't help out as much as he could, and he's trying to stay on a straight path. You know, because both of them have a history of possession. You understand what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why she was in. But now she's both of them on parole, and she just feeling overwhelmed now. They got a nice house. They to fix the house up to him and his friend. They fixed the house up and the house looks gorgeous, you know. But now reality set in because they put a lot of money into the house. You understand what I'm saying? I think Lindsay just need to calm down. She got a good man. She got somebody that really wants to help her out. And now that he knows how she feel, I think that he's gonna try to do better. What are your afterthoughts?
I think she needs some time alone. I think she
I can't
needs
hear
some
you.
time. Can you hear me? I don't know why.
Don't move nothing.
I don't know why you can't hear me.
Okay, I
Can
can
you?
hear you now.
Yes, I think what she need is a break. She need a break from everything. She need to regroup. She need to think of everything out. And then once she do that, she'll know exactly where she needs to be.
Well, and the same thing, whether she take a break or not, them bills still gonna be there.
Well, he got to find something to do with it. I think that with him calling her, it's just going to antagonize her more, and she just ain't gonna want to be bothered. Just give her a little space. I mean, is the bills not caught up for a month yet, or they behind?
I don't know. She just saying she feel like you know how it is when you ain't got no money. You all your money, you make the money, and all the money gone straight to bills. You ain't got the money to do what you want to do for yourself.
Right.
You know, and they younger. She I don't. I think she's in her early late 20s or early 30s. she really never had the responsibility of taking care of household, because her mother has her daughter. You understand what I'm saying? So she doesn't really. They never, she was locked up, so she never really had to take care of household.
Well,
Allegedly.
she got
You
to.
know,
She has to learn that responsibility. But the way she going, she got a meltdown and she don't know which way to go. She got to take a few days to get herself together, or she just gonna lose it all together.
right? But I think she was smart, and I'm glad that she called her sponsor
Right. That was a good move for her.
because the pressure right there could have drove her to using. And I'm proud of her. And I think that was the smartest move that she made is to talk to her sponsor and to try to clear her head. You
Right.
know,
Right.
you don't have to go home tonight. You can go home tomorrow or the next day. You know, but after you clear your head, and then you come back and this is what I expect, and put your foot down.
Right.
So let's move right along to Justine and Michael.
Oh Lord.
Now this is one of my favorite couples, though. Out the them, Michael and Justine is one of my favorite couples, and Iris and Cameron, they're one of my favorite couples. Um, I like Blake and Lindsay also. They're young, but they'll get it together because he really loves her. He really loves her. But it's like I said, after putting all your money into a lawyer and you still fighting for your freedom, you either could have went to jail and you still got the bills, or you can be at home and you can get some help with the bills. Either or, you can't have it both ways. Okay, so Justine and Michael, his manager to be, wants him to take his ring off. Okay, he gave him an ultimatum to take his ring off or he won't sign him. He wants him to act like a single bachelor. Justine said, "Do you want to, or do you have to? Just don't sell your soul." Cause Justine said it sounds like that's what you're doing. You're selling your soul, and she was hurt behind that. So Justine is hurting. He's trading his career, trading in his career for himself, but he's forced. Justine said to have I gotta raise another baby by myself. Justine let him know, and she bust out crying. You're not going to be a present father to, not even to your other kids. He don't think proposing in Vegas is the right thing to do because he also bought her an official engagement ring, and he was going to give it to her in Las Vegas because he bought that new ring. He said he's going to make a decision based on how he feel, and that's it. Now he had made up his mind that he gonna do what he gotta do so his career take off, and once it take off, it'll be what it's gonna be. But Justine started crying after all of this. You know, Mike said he don't care anymore. He's sticking by Justine. He's not taking his ring off for anybody. He seen her cry and it made him decide. So now they are looking for a house. His budget is 600,000. Okay, so that's the budget he want to stay in. Justine seen something that's so gorgeous, this 1 point something million, and they got the shoe business. And while he was locked up, he was collecting royalties from his other music. He don't want to spend more um no no more than what he's making. He don't want to put a pressure on himself. Justine wants him to move to Vegas. Mike likes Texas. So, but they had all voted on Vegas. So, what do you think? What are your afterthoughts on Justine and Michael?
Like you, I like that couple. I really do like them, and I hope that they get themselves together. Like you said, he was thinking more of his job at first. You know what I'm saying? But after she cried and talked to him and told him about the children and everything, he seemed to come back to her. You know, the way that they first started out. And when they went to look for that house, it was gorgeous, but it was out of his range. You know, but she wanted it so bad too. And he was like, babe, it's out of our range. You need to stay within that range. We got to pay a mortgage and light bill and all of that stuff, you know. So um, they left the house. So I'm assuming that they are going to find something more in their range. And I really hope so. And as far as this guy that's trying to give him, put him out there with his music, I think he asking for a little too much. What's wrong with him keeping on his wedding band? I'm not understanding that. You know.
Right. So the next couple is Am. Oh, well, it's not a couple, but Amber and Puppy. Puppy wants to stop smoking, and so do Amber. Amber is drinking more since she terminated her pregnancy because of her kidneys. TC and Amber are not communicating. Amber invited Puppy over. TC knows she was coming, and she's more than welcome to be there because she left her old man. Just keep the BS out, he said. TC thinks that it's a bad thing for Amber to get on her to have her own bar. TC said she has a drinking problem. So what are your afterthoughts on that?
Well, she do have a drinking problem, but I think uh, the one that lost her baby, which one is that?
Um TC Amber.
Amber. And I think Amber needs to go and talk to somebody, like a counselor and stuff, because she's not getting the help she needs from her. Is that her husband? Or
That's supposed to be cellmates.
no, no, I'm talking about the guy that she had the baby by.
Yeah, that was her boyfriend.
Yeah, he's not giving her any encouragement. He don't know what to say to her, and she's going through some changes since she had to, do that with the baby. Nobody's listening to her, so she turned into alcohol. So I think she needs to get counseling. I hope she finds a way to deal with it because if she already had a bad liver or kidney, whatever the problem was, drinking is going to make it worse. So
Yeah, and she want to open up a bar, and that's not the right thing for her to do.
no, no, because she's drinking too much as is already. So open the bar is more temptation. That's why I think she needs to go to some kind of counseling and get herself straight before she try to go into a venture like that. Because being that she feel like she don't have nobody that understands what she's going through, and so she turns to the alcohol. And she really needs to find someone that understands what she's going through, talk her through it, and then get her on the right path. And the boyfriend and even the best friend is trying to help. At least the best friend is trying to help. But I think she needs more help than that.
Right, I agree. So Tyler and Chance. Tyler and her sister Bobby are going to hang out to talk. Chance wants to know where they are going. She let them know it's it's none she let him know that it's none of his business. Bobby can see that Tyler is hurting. Tyler goes on to tell Bobby all the things that's been going on. The tracker Chance there's a tracker on Chance phone, and he's never at the place where he's supposed to be, but he's at another place. He also have another woman he's been calling, and it's in his phone, and he deletes his calls, and he threatened to leave her and told her let her pay the bills next month, all instead of telling him that he got a gambling problem, and she don't know that he lost his job. Tyler don't know that um he lost a job, and he's going to be a while till a job will come through. He is not adding up. Things are not adding up to Tyler. Tyler know he lost Tyler don't know that he lost money at the casino. He's cheating allegedly. There, when you know, cheating comes in a lot of forms and fashion. He deleted all his calls, and he called Taylor a crazy girlfriend. This is what he tell another woman that tracks him. Chance haven't told Taylor that he lost his job, but Chance signed up for a delivery job delivering groceries. He calls a friend and wanted to meet up with her at 7 o'clock. Tyler knows something is wrong. She tracked his phone, and he's been in different places all day long. And that he's supposed to be at work. So Bobby and them are going to find out what's going on. They gonna get the mother to watch the kids for them, and they're going to find out what he's doing, and they're going to pull up on him. What are your thoughts on them? Because I think that's a toxic relationship. I think he treats her like trash. He talks to her any kind of way. Anytime a man constantly throwing stuff in your face and you ain't doing nothing, if you ain't got nothing to hide, you shouldn't have no problem with me. If I got an intuition and it's a habit that you're doing something, if I pick up your phone, damn right I want to see it. And this situation is not like Monique and Dirk. This is a totally different situation. She got a right to check his phone. And I guess Monique, in a sense, got a right to check Dirk's, because Dirk be doing some messed up stuff, and he got caught at it. So it's the same thing go for Chance. Chance, he got a gambling problem. He done lost his job. He take his last $75 and lose it at the casino. And now he in the negative on his bank, and he the overdraft on he the maxed all his credit cards out. So how he gonna pay the bills next month? Cause she don't work.
It's a problem. He got a big problem, gambling and all what else. And I'm wondering, when he talked to these ladies, or one girl in particular, is it people that he's actually cheating with, or he doing gambling with? You know how you call a person and you bet on stuff, and you know what I'm saying? And then he erases it so he can't call that person back. But then again, he might be just cheating, like men do sometimes. Either way, he treating her really bad, and they really need to come to some conclusion whether they're gonna stay together or work through it.
Right. So the last couple is Marcella and Brittany. It's nothing much really to report on them because they haven't really been doing a lot. They started out over their life over in Florida. They was on a couple of seasons ago. They broke up. Now they back together. They need to talk with their youngest child because he's been feeling sad because his mom and dad been fighting a lot. He said he wants them to have another wedding, and he think that would bring them together and make them happy again. So the little boy want them to get married, and that was basic remarried. So that was basically the story on this couple. I really don't have much to say on them because they really didn't have much of a they're trying to figure stuff out. So let them figure it out. I don't even think they should have had them on this episode because they don't really have much of a storyline. But y'all, this has been our show. Did you have anything to say on the last couple?
No, we did the last. No, they just getting into it. It's like they starting over again. So
Right. So right. So that's been the show. Y'all, I appreciate if y'all hit that like button. It really means a lot. It keeps me in the algorithm. And Chrissy, thank you for coming on with me today. Um it's been a pleasure. And y'all, this has been the show. Again, do me a favor, please hit the like button, and I catch y'all on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.
see you later.